Namaste, angels. This will be the daily reading for Monday, June 25th, and I'll go straight to the significant events and the year 1678 when a Venetian named Elena Coronaro Piscopia is awarded a doctorate of philosophy. She's the first woman to receive a university doctoral degree or PhD. Wow, that was a long time ago, 1678, for the first woman to have done it. That's pretty magnificent. 1876, so it's like the same numbers, but in different order. The first one was 1678. This is 1876. The Battle of Little Bighorn. The U.S. 7th Cavalry under Brevet Major General George Armstrong Custer is wiped out by the Sioux and Cheyenne warriors led by Chiefs Crazy Horse and Sitting Bull in what has become famously known as Custer's Last Stand. As they should have been. They were trying to steal somebody else's land. 1929, U.S. President Herbert Hoover authorizes building of Boulder Dam, or the Hoover Dam. 1950, North Korea invades South Korea, beginning the Korean War. Did you know the first version of Anne Frank's diary, Het Achterhuis, is published by the Netherlands on June 25th in 1947? I wonder what they mean by the first version. Like, she didn't change it, so who did? How many versions were there? Anyway, famous birthdays: George Orwell, Willis Reed, Ricky Gervais, and George Michael. Would you believe the fork is introduced to American dining by Governor Winthrop on June 25th in the year 1630, or 163. Famous weddings. By the way, 625 is a 13, and then it's followed by the 1630 in this year. Famous weddings rather. 1927, pediatrician Benjamin Spock, 24, wed civil liberties advocate Jane Cheney. 1938, economist Milton Friedman, 25, weds Rose Friedman at the Jewish Seminary in New York City. 1960, NBA player Oscar Robertson, 21, weds a teacher, Yvonne Crediton, in Cincinnati, Ohio. 1967, MLB pitcher Nolan Ryan, 20, weds high school sweetheart Ruth Holdorf, 18. 1976, actor Peter Lawford, 52, weds aspiring actress Deborah Gould, 25. So their ages transpose, 52 and 25. 1997, Dumb and Dumber actress Lauren Holly, 33, divorces actor-comedian Jim Carrey, 35, due to irreconcilable differences after 9 months of marriage. Famous deaths: George Armstrong Custer, Thomas Eakins, Thomas means twin, Johnny Mercer, Jacques Cousteau, Farrah Fawcett, and Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was the king of pop. One of the most successful and popular entertainers in music history. Jackson began his musical career as a child, performing with his brothers in the Jackson 5 before going solo in 1971. The Jackson 5 had numerous hits, including ABC and I'll Be There. After releasing the commercially successful album Off the Wall in 1979, he released Thriller in 1982, which became the best-selling album of all time, with over 65 million copies sold. And it contains such hits as Billie Jean, Beat It, and the title track, Jackson, who became famous for his choreography and groundbreaking music videos, dominated pop music in the 1980s. Successful films, Bad, 1987, and Dangerous, 1991, followed. The winner of 13 Grammy Awards, Jackson sold more than 350 million records and was one of the most influential entertainers in history. Jackson's eccentric personal life dominated the latter half of his career, including his financial troubles, changing appearance, and general behavior. In the 1990s and 2000s, he was accused of a child sexual abuse. Charges which he denied and was acquitted of in 2 highly publicized trials. He was tried twice. He won both times. So they need to drop this. In 2009, he announced a series of comeback concerts entitled This Is It. Before those concerts could be undertaken, he died at age 50 of a cardiac arrest brought on by an accidental overdose of propofol administered by his personal physician. His death led to a global outpouring of grief, and his memorial service was widely watched around the world. He was born on August 29th in the year 1958 and was a Virgo from Gary, Indiana, USA. He died on June 25th in the year 2009 at the age of 50 of cardiac arrest induced by overdose of propofol. June 25th, 2009 equals 6, just like this year it does. Of course, 2009 equals 11, like 2018 equals 11. Farrah Fawcett was an actress famous for Charlie's Angels and The Burning Bed. She was born on February 2nd in the year 1947 and was an Aquarius from Corpus Christi, Texas, USA. She died on June 25th, 2009 at the age of 62 of anal cancer. Jacques Cousteau was French. He was an oceanographer, explorer, and a scientist. He co-developed the aqualung, pioneered marine conservation on board his ship Calypso, and was a member of the Academy Française. He was born on June 11th in the year 1910, so 6-11-11, which is like the same thing as 613, right? Because 13 equals 11-11 too. He was a Gemini from Saint Andre de Cubzac, Gironde, France. He died on June 25th in 1997 at the age of 87 of a heart attack. Johnny Mercer was American and a songwriter. He was the co-founder of Capitol Records. He was born on November 18th in the year 1909 and was a Scorpio from Savannah, Georgia, USA. He died on June 25th in the year 1976 at the age of 66 of brain cancer. Thomas Eakins is American and a painter, widely acknowledged to be one of the most important artists in American history and art history specifically. He painted several hundred portraits, usually of friends, family members, and prominent people, many of which offer an overview of the intellectual life of Philadelphia in the 19th and 20th centuries. He was born on July 25th in the year 1844 and was a Leo from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA. He died on June 25th in 1916 at the age of 71. George Armstrong Custer was a Union general. Although Custer graduated last in his class at West Point Military Academy, he quickly rose to prominence during the U.S. Civil War. He became a protege of Major General Alfred Pleasonton, who appointed him brigadier general just before the Battle of Gettysburg in 1863, or 9-9. As a cavalry officer, Custer was known for his aggressive charges. He was one of the officers present at the Appomattox Court to receive the Confederate surrender in the year 1865, or 9-11, or 11. In 1876, which is 1304 or 11-11, Custer was commissioned to lead an expedition against the Plains Indians, culminating in the Battle of Little Bighorn, otherwise known as Custer's Last Stand. Custer and his forces were famously cut down to a man and defeated by a larger Indian coalition made up of Lakota and Cheyenne warriors. Contemporary opinions characterize Custer's last battle as a grand self-sacrifice, but more recent opinion is divided and the events of that day remain controversial. He was born on December 5th in 1839 and was a Sagittarius from New Rumley, Ohio, USA. He died on June 25th in the year 1876. So 11-11-11-11 at the age of 36 or 9. Cause of death, killed in battle. Sagittarius. There's actually going to be a Sagittarius moon on this day, the 25th. I'm doing this reading on the 24th. 624 or 6611 is the date today. And this morning, my phone was covered in sixes. I don't remember what time it was. Oh, it was 2:22, a.m., which equals 6. And 66 degrees. Of course, 624 is also 66. Must have been like 66% to battery life. Like everything was 6. Every single thing. So today I expected to be full of love, and I guess it was. I guess it was. I did some self-love. Anyway, let's continue. I'm going up to the birthdays. I'm beginning with George Michael. George Michael, who has a real name that I won't attempt to pronounce. Looks like it may be Greek. Was British and a pop superstar. One of the world's best-selling music artists, George Michael rose to fame as a member of the music duo Wham! Michael's 1987 debut solo album, Faith, sold more than 20 million copies worldwide. He had 7 #1 singles in the UK and 8 #1 hits on the Billboard Hot 100 in the US, including Careless Whisper and Freedom. Also 90. He was born on June 25th in the year 1963 and was a Cancer from London, England, United Kingdom. He died on December 25th, so Christmas Day, in the year 2016 at the age of 53 of a suspected heart failure, but they're not sure. Ricky Gervais is British and a comedian. Gervais achieved mainstream fame with his television series The Office and subsequent series Extras. He was born on June 25th in 1961 and is 57 years old, a Cancer from Reading, Berkshire, England. Willis Reed is 76 years old. He's American and he was an NBA center and power forward. He spent his entire professional playing career from 1964 through 1974 with the New York Knicks, winning the NBA championship twice. In 1997, he was voted as one of the 50 greatest players in NBA history. He was born on June 25th in 1942 and is 76 years old, a Cancer from Hiko, Louisiana, USA. I was watching this thing about Louisiana yesterday and the wild boar that are overrunning the wetlands and destroying it, like destroying the ecosystem, and I guess they're running up on people and running into people's homes, it said, and like attacking animals, small animals like your dog, your cat, your child. It's getting out of hand. They have that problem in Hawaii. That's why they eat so much pork. They have to eat the wild boar. All right, anyway, I just went off on a tangent. The last one is George Orwell. He was also British and a writer, born in the Imperial India. He was Eton educated and he was a colonial policeman in Burma and fought against the fascists in the Spanish Civil War. His most famous works are The Road to Wigan Pier, Animal Farm, and 1984. He was born on June 25th in 1903 and was a Cancer from Modhari, Bengal, India. He died on January 21st in 1950 at the age of only 46 of a burst pulmonary artery, and he was the last. Going to the dice, I'm beginning with yes. Stay in bed. And party. Bruce says no. So we went from yes to no, but still stay in bed. And buy shoes. Maybe that goes with the no. Maybe it's like a walking shoes. Just, I'm done here. Going to the cards, I'm beginning with the Six of Water, which can be about a soulmate relationship. Memories from your history or childhood. Issues regarding children and romanticizing the past. Of course, those are also possibilities. And speaking of six, again, I saw those sixes today. Opening to the Emperor with Archangel Michael. Major Arcana card 4. Organization and logic, structure and discipline, leadership. The Emperor represents the planet Mars for me, and the signs of Scorpio, perhaps, with this water element, and Aries, which it rules. Also, Mars this week enters Aquarius, so that could be another reason why the Emperor is showing up. The Emperor is also all about leadership, can represent fatherhood or father figure or an authority figure into contact, with whom we may come into contact. Emperor. And life experience or the Tower with Archangel Chamuel, a significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. It's time to spread your wings. Life experience also represents for me the sign of Scorpio. It can be about an actual tower. Somebody may be coming into contact with an authority, having something to do with some sort of like government building or like official building, dealing with an authority, or maybe you're buying a home or selling a home, and so you have to deal with legality or something. Also, the tower doesn't have to be about a building at all. It can just be about, you know, something that like changes your life. It can just be a revelation, like, I got it now, and all of a sudden everything's different because you finally had this breakthrough, this aha moment. It can be as simple as that. And maybe that aha moment is to take charge of your own life, or to realize where you've been like faltering in those areas, lacking organization, lacking structure, lacking discipline. Opening to the 9 of air. So this could be, you know, for those who are maybe coming into contact with some sort of authority, or have some sort of legality to deal with. You know, they could be anxious about it, nervous about it, maybe not sleeping. That doesn't mean it's necessarily bad. I mean, we could be excited and unable to sleep, you know, having things running through our head too, like anxious in that way. But you have to be careful with 9 of air energy, because it can lead to manifesting negativity into your own life. Expecting the worst. Self-fulfilling prophecies. Sleepless nights.
Yeah,
Nine of air. And release with Archangel Jeremiah. Review and evaluate. A favorable assessment of the facts. It's time to move in a new direction. Renewal or judgment also represents for me the sign of Scorpio and Pluto, which rules that sign. Now, I'm wondering, I said there was a Sagittarius moon on this day. Maybe that's why all this Scorpio energy is turning up, because Jupiter, ruler of Sagittarius, is currently retrograde in Scorpio. So maybe that's what this is about. Other than that, renewal is about abundance that's earned. So maybe you're coming before this authority again to, you know, get some sort of money or settlement. Maybe there's a court case, or you're just going to receive a check from the government. Maybe your taxes were late and you're getting them now, or I don't know, but you know, it's abundance earned. If it has anything to do with finances or career, it's about raise, promotion. If it's connected to ascension, you know, for similar reasons, raise, promotion, the universe lifting you up. If it has to do with a relationship of any kind, doesn't have to be romantic, any kind. It's about having come to some sort of crossroad and deciding, like, where do we go from here? Maybe a friend that you haven't seen for a while. We started with the 6 of water, right? Could be a friend from childhood, and you just bump into each other because of all these retrogrades, because retrogrades will cause that to happen. And, you know, you're wondering, what happened to us? You know, we lost contact. Well, what are we going to do now? And now you're making plans to, you know, to move forward together. Or you say, well, I'm, you know, only in town for a little bit, but it was great catching up with you, and we probably won't see each other again. You know, that sort of thing. And similarly, if you have a romantic situation that has not, you know, been coming together, and you got to figure out what's up, you'll have a similar conversation. And that can be something about which we're nervous too. But we want to be careful not to be manifesting negativity into life by thinking the worst and overanalyzing, or, you know, overthinking. Renewal, and back to the 6 of water, as I just mentioned. Again, memories from your history or childhood, issues regarding children, and romanticizing the past. So it can have to do with a relationship, perhaps with your child's other parent, for example, or a friend from childhood, or a situation from your childhood that you're still dealing with now. Maybe it's come up because, you know, it's been raised to the surface by karma or the retrogrades, or a combination of those, or whatever. Or maybe it does have something to do with some sort of soulmate, romantic relationship that needs to, you know, addressing as well. I hear sirens. So could very well have to do with a relationship that needs healing. And now coming to Major Arcana card 2, the High Priestess with Archangel Haniel. Listen to your intuition. Have patience and consider carefully what you want before acting. So the card before this was Major Arcana card 20. So also a 2. Definitely partnership and or relationships can be involved here. The High Priestess, she's the type to come into information and not necessarily reveal it. Like just mull it over and use it, you know, wisely. Take it under consideration. Use it if and when she needs to. She is a Gemini or perhaps a water sign. Overall energy is the Queen of Earth, who is thoughtful, creative, warm, and sensible, and may be here because of the Capricorn moon that's about to come up this week, or perhaps Uranus in Taurus, or maybe just because it's a good week as it relates to finances and career. I mean, we did already see Judgment too. Make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach and deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. I got to tell you, as I was shuffling, the Emperor jumped out of my hand again. So I'm not sure what that's about, but he also definitely may come into play, or his energy this week or on this day. Kind of the masculine, it's the Four of Earth, being too frivolous or too cautious with money, good business decisions, and giving to the less fortunate. The Four of Earth, it doesn't have to be money, as a matter of fact. It can be, you know, like yourself too, emotions, just giving too much or restraining too much. Like when we give too much, you know, it's like conceived like it's out of desperation. So we don't trust the universe, obviously. You know, like we feel like we have to desperately go after something ourselves and just give, whether it's money or whether it's, you know, time, energy, emotion. And the same thing when we're, you know, withholding, it's similar. It's like we don't trust the universe. Like, you know, you can spend some of that money or love or energy and the universe will replenish you. But if you don't trust it, you won't. You'll say, like, I have to, you know, hoard this all for myself just in case. So either way, we need balance. We need balance. Surrounding the masculine, the King of Air, who's brilliant, impartial, professional, and diplomatic. Speak your mind with confidence. Seek out professional advice and balance mental and emotional considerations. The King of Air can be here representing Venus, again, because she's also here as the Queen of Earth, overall energy, or Mercury, which is also pretty active right now. Mercury enters Leo this week, or one of the air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, where Mars is. Mars, ruler of Aries and Scorpio, retrograde in Aquarius this week, so it can be there too. Or as I mentioned before, Uranus, ruler of Aquarius, in Taurus as of, I guess, about a month ago, and will be the case for the next 8 years. But it's been pretty impactful as of late because it's just in combination with all the other energy that's been going on. Yeah, it's really had an impact. In any case, the King of Air is brilliant, impartial, professional, and diplomatic, and can be that authority into which you're coming into contact too. It can be like a lawyer or a judge or something. Masculine subconscious. He's like worried about lack. So maybe someone do have to go to court or something and they're worried they're going to, you know, suffer a loss. That's a possibility. Fears surrounding money, the wisdom to accept help from others, and uncertain self-employment. Maybe somebody's concerned about their job on the masculine side. For the feminine, the Two of Earth crowns us. Too much going on at once. There's a need to make a decision. Consider a more playful approach. The Two of Earth is about the need for balance. I was just talking about balance. It can be about juggling a bunch of things, you know, particularly of the earthly. It can also definitely be about the need to make a decision, typically also with respect to the earthly. The feminine surrounded by the 10 of earth, though. Cha-ching, a very happy family life, financial security, and finding magic in the little things in life. And in our subconscious, it's the 3 of fire. Abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time and make long-term plans. And it looks like it really is connected to abundance, although the 3 of fire, anytime we see a 3, we know it does have a potential to have something to do with some sort of party of 3, possibly a love triangle. Crowning, it's ego or the devil. Probably showing up because of the masculine, because it looks like he's really, really focused on the material and the earthly, but I mean, it's here for both of us. And also, again, this would represent the sign of Capricorn. And there is a Capricorn full moon coming up this week. So that energy could already be impacting, affecting people, or, you know, initiating something. A false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, and negative or fear-based thoughts. Ego, again, is the devil in the traditional tarot. Can also be about addiction. So maybe that's the authority, you know, something having to do with addiction. It does represent the sign of Capricorn or earth signs. Can be about being tied down, maybe somebody needing a divorce or some sort of, like, their freedom from a circumstance. At the root, it's more worries. We got worry here crowning us, and this worry is back, right? This is negative or fear-based thoughts is what the devil can be about. And again, this is the same. Expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, sleepless nights. Masculine definitely in particular, more so than the feminine, I would say, needing to get into a place of positive thinking. And, you know, trusting in the universe that, like, there's a queen of earth here wanting to help us. There's a king of air who's going to be fair with us, right? The king of air is diplomatic, not one-sided. So he's going to hear all sides and do what's right and do what's fair and not try to hurt you. The heart of the matter. The page of fire, here's our Sagittarius moon. Outgoing, creative, confident, and mischievous is the page of fire. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. The page of fire, like I just said, for me, there's ambulances again. Sirens. Page of fire is a Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, or perhaps a Scorpio, but I think it's connected to the Sagittarius moon that is a lead-in to what soon will follow, a Capricorn moon. So let's take a look at this devil and see what else it might be about. Worried about material things, again, not trusting the universe or yourself, and forgetting that we have the ability to manifest these things. The Magician is all about manifestation. You are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them, and life is magical. The Magician is a Gemini, but perhaps, you know, also I tend to lend the energy of the Magician to the other mutable signs too. Sagittarius, Virgo. We don't have Pisces here, or Cancer. But you can use the energy of Gemini. That Gemini has the ability to, all mutable signs have the ability to take on all the traits of the other zodiac signs, and then Gemini can do it like ×2. So use that energy of Gemini here that we have available to us, and the king of air sort of giving us a push toward manifestation and bringing in what you want that's positive, and letting go of these negative thoughts, because they will steer you in the wrong direction, masculine. Let's take a look at the 9 of air as well. It's another 5. It's sitting here. Now we end up with 2 5 of earths essentially sitting side by side. this 5 of earth sitting here atop the 9 of air, again, can indicate, especially crossing the king of air, who I said may be a lawyer or a judge or something, again, can indicate that there's some sort of legality, some sort of important papers or something that has to be signed, or, you know, court situation. And we want to watch our thoughts in regard to this situation. On a more positive note, and perhaps maybe for the feminine, the Major Arcana card Unity, number 5, is also the High Priest or the Hierophant, and is about happy family. It could be about marriage, commitment, a new home, all of those sorts of things. And crossing the 10 of Earth, that can certainly be what it is for her. I will take a look at the feminine's 2 of Earth. 7 of Air, plans that need revision. More going on than meets the eye and poor timing. Maybe this is why you're like all over the place and juggling, because things are not going exactly as you had anticipated. You may also be lacking confidence that you cannot juggle. You can't handle all this stuff at once on your own. You could also be having a concern that someone is trying to like interfere, usurp you somehow take away something, your joy overall. Let's take another card. 9 of Earth. Enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, and successful self-employment. And I've been feeling that for the feminine for a few days now, like going back to last week's reading, that maybe she has an option of becoming self-employed or doing her own thing and is worried about that. And the card's still saying, you know, to up your confidence and that you can do it. I have to apologize for my nails being, well, not only the same, but looking like they need to be done. My, the nail tech, the woman who does my nails for a long time now, and anytime I've gone to somebody else, something crazy has happened, so I don't want to, but something happened with her babysitter, and so she has not been in all week. Hopefully this week, since this reading is from Monday, I'm going to try her tomorrow. It's Sunday night. I'm going to take a look at the 3 of Fire, and it's the Emperor. So it's like a 4 of Fire. 3 of Fire being clarified by a 4 of Fire. And this could be, again, you becoming your own boss, feminine. And even if you're not literally becoming your own boss and starting your own business, this does remind you that you are, you know, like on your own, a powerful being, like without other people and other things. Like we all need and want to be surrounded by other people, but you know, you can handle these things on your own too, and should not be afraid to do so. Okay, because you've got this. Also, it's a good day for you financially, feminine. Very nice. Further advice to the masculine is more news that this, you know, he's going to have a new divine blessed beginning in the areas of finance and career too, or you know, something awesome is coming his way. The inflow of abundance, a promising business venture, important documents or contracts. Okay, this is about what he's afraid or nervous, anxious, panicking, and there's no need. Everything's going to be fine. Again, we have this overall energy, the Queen of Earth. We have the masculine now has the Ace of Earth. When I pick up the Queen of Earth, our overall energy, it's the 9 of Fire here, saying for us not to give up, to persevere, to keep pushing, because the universe has got our back, basically. Don't give up. Protect that which you've created. Have courage and believe in yourself. And behind that, also upright, it is justice with Archangel Raguel. Fair and just decisions. Do what you know is right. Stand up for your beliefs. Somebody may be getting a divorce again, or in court for some sort of settlement, maybe monetary settlement that they're due, maybe something having to do with family. So family court, maybe specifically having something to do with a child and family, or with your family, some sort of settlement that you were due, inheritance or something, and you got to, you know, work on that, or maybe you don't have to actually go to court, but there's some sort of business matter. And again, also up right behind that is the high priestess, and she reminds you to play your cards close to your chest and, like, you know, think, you know, look before you leap and all that kind of stuff. Advice to the feminine. Boom. Okay, how's your pockets looking on this day? And the general reading was like this too. It was all pentacles. Very, very interesting. I love it though. So it's a good day for us too, feminine. The king of earth, who is generous, professional, responsible, and practical. A good day to apply for a job. You may get called for a job. Somebody might say, hey, Susie, you know, I thought about you when this job opening came up. You interested? And you haven't even applied for nothing. Good day to apply for credit, get a loan, maybe for your new business you're trying to start, or your new home you're trying to get. Okay, all those things. A successful time. Confidently accept opportunities you're offered. You have the Midas touch. You may also be impacted or approached by a king of earth, maybe an earth sign, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. All right, and especially maybe Capricorn and Gemini, or earth and Gemini, or earth and air. We got Taurus down here too, Taurus, Gemini, so earth and air yet again, and Sagittarius sneaking themselves in here, but this is fire, so it can be fire. Also, again, maybe most specifically Sagittarius, but any of the fire signs. And we also have that crossing the Emperor here, which is more fire. Again, the Emperor represents the sign of Aries or Scorpio. So all these characters coming into play here. We got all the air signs again represented. So yeah, definitely a lot of people by whom we may be impacted, or a lot of energy available to us to use, and it should be a good day. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the daily reading and find it helpful. Namaste, angels.